prize-linked savings accounts. They're exactly what they sound like, really. Customers who are participating are entered to win a cash prize every term just for saving money. And your chances of winning go up when you save more money in the account. These accounts have had their critics, including Governor Andrew Cuomo, who did veto a bill to legalize them in New York. But actually, now they're illegal. So with me to talk more about this, we have Mike Lunati. He's from the Credit Unions Association of New York. Welcome to Capitol Tonight.
Thank you.
This is, when I first heard about this, I thought it was crazy. It's crazy. I mean, basically, you're giving people money in exchange for saving money.
Yeah, it really is a different concept, but the goal behind it has been always something that ties very closely with our credit union social mission, which credit unions as not-for-profit financial cooperatives have always had a mission of trying to make sure that their members were financially independent. And over the years, they've found that there are some folks who just have a hard time saving. And when we were looking at this program, we realized that this was a fun way to save money. It's kind of a no-lose lottery in some respects.
Yeah.
So we offered this to our credit unions starting in October, and it's been a great response so far, and it is something that we think is going to continue to grow.
Well, what's really amazing is if you read a little bit about this, other states have been doing it for a little while, so there's a track record there. We, on average, as Americans, spend vastly more on gambling, on the lottery, on lottery tickets, than we do on saving.
Correct.
So that's a problem. And there are a lot of people out there who don't have the prescribed X number of months that you need in your sort of emergency account, just in case you get laid off or there's a problem. And it mostly, actually, this program attracts people who have a difficult time saving, which would be like low-income folks.
Correct, yep.
Or non-savers.
Yeah, it's the financially vulnerable, as they talk about it, and it is low income and folks who don't have that rainy day fund set aside. And the program has actually proven in the other states where it's been that a lot of these folks now have the money in case the car breaks down or if the water heater goes. And the beauty of this program also is that it's a little bit different than a traditional share certificate. So the program is based on a certificate, so it's a certificate of deposit that gets established.
Right.
And what you're allowed to do, unlike most, is you can actually make a withdrawal from it for those kind of emergency purposes without a penalty.
But just once a year.
Correct, just once a year. You could actually, a credit union could allow a member to do it in extenuating circumstances a second or third time. And they can work with those members based on the needs that are there.
So my understanding, the way it works is it's just $25. You open it up with $25, and then you have, the more you save, the more chances you have of winning the lottery that's established. And there's a big grand prize at the end of the year, and then some credit unions are doing smaller local prizes.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes, so the program sets up this way. You open up a certificate as a member, and it is, as you mentioned, a $25 initial deposit. For every deposit it's worth $25, you get an additional entry into that month's drawing, up to 10 opportunities per month. Then actually we roll those over also towards a quarterly prize, so that those 3 months worth of that quarter, you could have up to 30 chances to win. So for about $250 per month, you can get to $750 and have 30 chances to win up to $5,000. And the beauty of it is, you're not buying a ticket where you've given your money to somebody else, and if you don't win, you've lost that money. You've actually put your money away, and you're earning interest on that. So you really have a chance to win, but you're also winning regardless because you're saving money.
And the money doesn't come from the interest. So the interest is yours regardless of whether you win or don't win.
Absolutely.
And your chances increase regardless of how much money you put in, as long as you make that $25 threshold. So I could put in $2,500, I still get one chance, or $25, I still get one chance.
So if you actually put in one deposit of $250, you'd get your 10 chances. You could continue to save into that certificate.
Up to 10, I see.
Exactly, but each month it'll be up to 10.
So what's curious about this, though, is that the first time around when the governor vetoed it, it was because it was too much like gambling, which technically speaking is illegal under the Constitution.
Correct.
But as we all know, we have made exceptions, including for the lottery.
Correct.
So you had to retweak, I think, the legislation in order to get it to pass. So how did you change it?
So it really was, I think, in a lot of ways, and at the beginning, just a little bit of a misunderstanding as to how it actually worked. The idea that was concerning to the governor's office was that we were actually now in a situation where somebody was giving something, some type of consideration for the chance to win the dollars, but by actually making a deposit, you're not giving something away. You're actually just keeping your money, so it's not like you're purchasing a ticket. So the only thing that we had to make sure was that as a result of setting up this type of program, you were not in a situation where you were being feed higher because prizes were associated with it, or the interest you were going to earn was substantially lower than a similar type of certificate just because there were prizes associated with it. And that was an easy fix for us.
So it's a CD, not a savings account?
Correct, it's a certificate, yes.
Okay, just to be clear.
Yep.
And also, Congress has passed legislation legalizing this at the federal level.
Correct.
There's not been a huge amount of participation yet, but it's early yet.
Yes, so that actually passed back at the end of 2014, and what that did was it actually opened up the door for banks to now
Private banks.
Correct,
yeah.
to open up and offer this type of program as well. To date, there are 6 states that are actually offering this type of program, including New York. They are all credit union programs at this point in time. There are about 15 states that have actually passed laws to allow this. So even though the Congress passed the legislation that would allow the FDIC to insure these types of accounts, unless each state's gambling laws are in sync with this type of program, it still can't be offered. It's just really dealt with the insurability aspects.
So you actually, it was signed last year into
Correct.
law, but there was a year delay
Correct.
into instituting the program. Program opens in the fall. What do the participation numbers look like?
So we have 35 credit unions that launched with us on October 1st. We are actually now up to 39 credit unions that are participating in the program. In the first 2 months alone, we have opened over 2,000 certificates, and members have saved over $2 million already in 2 months. It's phenomenal.
Do you know how
success.
many of those people are first-time savers?
You know, we actually are getting that data in now. It's so early in the program, we haven't gotten the results back, but at account opening, each member's asked to provide some information about whether this is the first time they're saving, what attracted them to the program. We do have one of our credit unions on the second day of the program sent us an email that one of their tellers gave to them, senior management, from a member who said, "This is the best thing ever. I am such a bad saver, but you just gave me all the tools I need to save. I know if I don't see it, I'm not going to spend it, so I'm going to use this to the fullest extent."
Do you have automatic check withdrawal? Can you do that?
You know, I don't know if they can set it up through actual automatic withdrawal. It's not like a payroll deduction plan,
Right.
so, but I think they could actually have savings account money put like directly over. But again, we're talking about folks who typically aren't good savers, so
Yeah.
the idea of doing it, the beauty of this also is, if you were to save a big chunk of money and then wait a year to see how the program did in terms of whether you won money or not, it really wouldn't change your habit of necessarily of
No, but
saving.
you have a chance every month.
You do have a chance, but the idea was to get people to keep coming back and putting those small dollar deposits in, so they get in the idea of, hey, every time I save, I'm getting a chance, but I'm also saving. In just the first 2 months, we had the equivalent of over 13,000 entries put into the program, which means people are coming in and realizing the more I keep putting in, the more I'm going to have a
And
chance to win.
$25 is like a tank of gas.
Exactly.
You know
It's
what I
not
mean?
a
It's
big
not
dollar.
that much
It's not at
money.
all.
I know for some people it's a lot of money, I
Right.
understand, but if you're really living on the margins, but you can see where it's going to benefit you in the long term.
Definitely.
And then when your car breaks down or the heating bill's higher than you thought it was going to be, or you needed something for Christmas or whatever it is, you can use it. If people want to know more about this, where can they find out if their credit union's participating?
So there's a consumer website. It's called savetowin.org. When you go to that website, it'll give you all the information about the program nationwide, and there's a drop down that'll talk about participating states. Click on New York, and the list of all the credit unions that are there will pop up, and it'll let you even know if you're eligible to join the credit union in order to be a new member who can then participate in the program. So all that information is available at savetowin.org.
Yeah, it's very cool. So thank you, Mike, for coming in and talking to us about
Thank
it.
you.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.